안녕하세요. 공급망 한 말씀 드리겠습니다. Today's episode is about why did LG Electronics head to Indonesia? Have you read the news about LG Electronics, a Korean conglomerate in electronics industry heading to Indonesia? In May 2020, LG Electronics made an important announcement that they were moving its two domestic TV production lines to Indonesia. Then why did LG Electronics head to Indonesia? If you look at the map of production plans of global firms in China, you can easily notice the factory of LG Electronics located in Nanjing. A lot of global firms, including LG Electronics, felt the need for lower dependency on Chinese manufacturing. This is called the De-scinicization strategy, a production strategy of minimizing the dependency of global manufacturing on China by moving production plants to various countries other than China. As a result, LG Electronics chose Indonesia as their next destination. But LG Electronics is not the only one moving their production plants. According to recent news, Taiwanese manufacturing companies, Foxconn and Pegatron, who are suppliers of Apple, plan to move their production plants from China to Mexico at the end of this year. Why are these firms moving their production plants so dynamically? In order to answer that question, we need to know some terms. Have you ever heard of the term onshoring? Onshoring refers to a strategy of building domestic production plants in regions with relatively low labor cost. But from 1980s, firms started to relocate their factories overseas, searching for lower wages. This phenomenon is called offshoring. But recently, many firms around the world realized the risk of depending heavily on Chinese manufacturing and decided to relocate their factories to their own countries, which is called reshoring. An American firm, which has built its factories in Latin America and Asia, returning its overseas plants to the United States is an example of reshoring. Nearshoring is the practice of transferring a business operation to a nearby country, especially in preference to a more distant one. By nearshoring, a firm can take advantage of lower risk during a supply chain disruption and lower transportation costs and shorter lead time compared to offshoring. But realistically speaking, it is very hard to lower one's dependency on Chinese manufacturing drastically in a short period of time. In this transitional period, one can employ a strategy of redistributing only some portion of its manufacturing dependency on China to other countries, which is called the China Plus One strategy. As you can infer from the name, it is a strategy of diversifying its risk by maintaining some degree of production capacity in China and building new production plants in other countries such as Vietnam or Indonesia. In this episode, we learned the reason why LG Electronics headed to Indonesia and the recent trend of de-sinicization in manufacturing, plus the future of global supply chain and various production strategies ranging from onshoring, offshoring, reshoring to nearshoring. Last but not the least, the China Plus One strategy. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for the upcoming episodes. 이상으로 공급망 한 말씀 마치겠습니다. 감사합니다.